Well, happy Thursday, everybody. On the Storm Watch is the calm before the storm. 40 degrees outside the BTV studios. Right now, we're on the side of 40 of most of the region. A little bit cooler as we go far to the north and west. The radars have been quiet locally. We do see some lake effect snow showing up outside in New York State. But our snowfall is right here, coming from Louisville and heading towards Pittsburgh right now. This is moving pretty steadily, and it's moving on a quick pace here. Now, some of this is not reaching the ground at the very leading edge, but there's moderate to heavy snow now moving across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, and this is destined for southern New England. The storm system will be taking a pretty classic path. Now, it's not really going to be fully formed until it gets past New England, so I don't think we're looking at feet of snow here, but a light to moderate snowfall is the recipe here, and the National Weather Service has expanded the winter storm warnings now, including all of eastern Massachusetts. The Cape is now included, all of Rhode Island, parts of eastern Connecticut. West of there, we have the winter weather advisory, also advisory out down on Martha's Vineyard. So really, we're honing in now on the overnight hours tonight into really the first half of Friday. As the storm takes the classic track south and east, we do have high pressure building to our north, so that will keep the cold air in place. It's pretty much snow for everybody. This is one of those rare storms where pretty much every computer model is on the same page. The conditions are there, and again, it's ripe for the highest impact coming in for your Friday morning commute. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Here's a look at the storm timeline here. I'll get out of the way so you can see. We have winds generally light early in the day, but they're going to pick up later on in the afternoon as that storm system really starts to wind up to our north and east, especially over towards Nova Scotia, for example. And temperatures are generally right around freezing. They may not go above freezing until the very end of the storm, or actually after the storm by mid to late afternoon tomorrow. How much snow are we looking at? Well, we've modified this map just a little bit from yesterday. Still generally 3 to 6 across most of the region. There may be some pockets of a little bit more. You can see we are in that bullseye for potentially 6 to 9, maybe 4 to 8, something like that. That general idea. But keep in mind, this snow's going to be coming down a relatively small window, and so it'll be really anywhere between the wee hours of the morning to about lunchtime. So it's going to be coming down at a pretty good clip, especially during that morning commute. So keep that in mind if you are heading out to work in the morning. So for overnight, again, snow, 90% chance. It gets steadier and heavier the closer to dawn, and a low temperature right around 30. We will stay in the low 30s most of the day tomorrow as the snowflakes fly, again wrapping up right around lunchtime. Could even see some sunshine by the time the day is over. Saturday is a clear day for the most part. There may be some more rain or snow on the lighter side here on Sunday as a front moves through, and that front eventually is going to bring some very cold weather to us by early next week.
Thank you for joining us for the first update of 2022. I'm John Locke. We do begin this update, unfortunately, how we began so many updates in 2020 and 2021, talking about the pandemic's effects here in Bridgewater and some of the key metrics as well. Right now on your screen, you're looking at some of the 2-week totals that are released by the State's Department of Public Health every Thursday afternoon. And through the final 4 weeks of the year, Bridgewater had 2-week testing numbers above 3,000. The 2-week case totals reached 370 on the 23rd, but did drop down a little bit 1 week later to 338. But the positivity percentage is a key number to look at, and that has unfortunately risen throughout the month of December to 11.89%. On Tuesday night, Town Manager Michael Dutton told the council at the meeting that there were no reported hospitalizations among Bridgewater residents due to the virus as of January 4th. He did add that 62% of residents were fully vaccinated, while 68% of the community had received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. And the town manager said that there would be limited staff in some of the town offices to allow for rotation of people in the building for work, and he hopes that this will be the case for the next couple of weeks or so. While there is no mask mandate for residents entering town offices, employees are going to be required to wear masks. And you may remember right before the holiday, Bridgewater did receive a shipment of at-home COVID tests that were handed out at a number of locations throughout the community, including the senior center, library, and both fire departments. Town Councilor Eric Moore asked the town manager if there should be any changes if the town does receive another shipment in the coming weeks and months.
I'd just be curious. I know one of the challenges people are facing right now is actually getting the home test kits. And I think people, when they arrive at CVS, will go in and buy, I don't know, 6 or 10 or something, or whatever the max is, and take them. And I'm just curious, having just distributed 8,000, I think in a day or two, did we learn anything from that process that would lead us to distribute them in a different manner if we get more in the future?
Quite honestly, I think the distribution went well. We did place a restriction on the numbers. We asked people for, at least we started out asking people for their name and address so that we could track where these things are going, which is something that was passed by the state, which makes perfect sense. In the future, we probably will try to disperse the distributions more than we did. We did have them we distributed through the Housing Authority, the Senior Center, the library, the 2 fire stations, and the police station. By far, most people went to Fire Station 1 at headquarters, and that proved to be a bit of a zoo. So we would probably try to distribute or disperse the distribution sites a little more and try to centralize a database. But other than that, I think those were pretty much the lessons learned.
Mr. Dutton did say that the town is making an effort in ordering more at-home COVID tests, but that could take potentially several more weeks for another mass shipment. Let's get you caught up on some of the news that you may have missed during the holiday break, starting with the BPD 5K and Kids 1 Mile Fun Run. There was a check presentation held back in December at the police station for the race held back in September, with proceeds going to Project PAC. In all, $2,500 was raised for the effort, which is a nonprofit that is dedicated to assisting victims of sexual assaults with post-assault comfort kits.
There are some really good people out there who are doing work on behalf of others, and they are very good examples of many Bridgewater residents who are out there trying to work on behalf of people who are struggling with a variety of issues and difficulties in their life. And these ladies are amazing people for stepping up and trying to help others, people they don't even know, but trying to make a difference. And that's really remarkable to me as a fellow resident. We're very proud of them and all the work. And they've been doing it for a long time. This is just one project, but they've both been involved in community service for a long time in a variety of ways.
And the check presentation served as an opportunity for the beneficiary for this year's race to be announced. Cops for Kids with Cancer was started between a couple of officers a few years ago in Boston and Ireland.
It started at a pub in Ireland between a Boston police officer and a police officer from Cork City. They started a golf tournament in Ireland, and the monies at that time went back to hospitals, a local hospital in Cork. It grew. The Boston police officer brought it back here, and in 2001, 2002, it really started to gain some ground. Our mission changed. We give money now directly to the families that are going through this unimaginable journey. It's a grant of $5,000, and we typically have the children that are suffering identified through school resource officers in the school. All police officers obviously can let us know, but that's really mainly where a lot of our donation requests come from.
You saw the graphic, but if you'd like more information on this year's beneficiary, visit copsforkidswithcancer.org. And for more information on the BPD 5K, visit bpd5k.racewire.com. Bridgewater has been selected to receive a grant worth $150,000 for the Town River restoration. This was announced originally on State Senator Mark Pacheco's Facebook page, and the senator went on to add that the grant will be used to help upgrade old infrastructure, reduce flood risk, improve public safety, and help provide better access for residents here in town. If you've watched some of our news programming in the past, we've told you about the Hometown Heroes program and its efforts in promoting local veterans that have fought for our country. What started out as a few banners hung up on poles around town has turned into a true patriotic presentation connecting the past to the present. There are over 200 banners hung up in the Bridgewater Library as we speak, with veterans from World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and more. There will be a formal reception coming up this Saturday again at the library that takes place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we thank you for watching this update. I'm John Locke.